Dear Derry, here's something you won't. This. Here, okay, let me finish my sentence, and this whole thing will become clear. Well, not clear like transparent, but clear as in obvious what it's for. So here's something you will. It makes no sense to say that you will almost never see it, because from now on you will see it probably once a week. But it is me in a red T-shirt. Oh my God! Does that mean I'm gonna die? I'm a red shirt now? No. Well, eventually, yes. But not for... I've got a few hundred years left on me before I plan on dying, so we'll work on that. But yes, I had some time ago purchased this off of Shirtwoot, and it finally arrived. And I figured, you know what? I should wear this on the show, because I wear a lot of Shirtwoot shirts. Well, two. I have the one that says "Beware of Passionate Bears," and it's the bear hugging the lumberjack to death. I was going to get that one was drawn by Oatmeal, if I remember correctly. And the other one that Oatmeal drew, which I don't have, unfortunately, was or is a bear on like a four-wheeler, like on a quad runner, and he's like jumping off this berm, and like the forest is exploding in the background, and it says "Extreme National Parks." I just think that's very amusing. But this is obviously a bunch of rabbits, and this one is eating carrot cake, and it says it has carrots, which apparently carrot cake does. Otherwise, false advertising. And then we can sue whoever came up with carrot cake. Probably King Henry VIII. So, what was that? Netflix. They keep, every time I go to Netflix to watch something, like I watched the Europa Report today. Kind of a sci-fi thriller thingy about a space excursion to Europa. And and it was pretty good. Pretty good. Had, as one might expect, some very slow, chatty parts. But other parts of it were quite cool. But anyway, I fired up Netflix, and it's like, hey, why don't you rate The Flight with Denzel Washington? What did you think of it? And I said, I haven't watched it. I don't know. Why are you asking me to rate something I haven't seen? They're like, but you recently watched this. I was like, no, I didn't. I moused over it to see what it was, but I didn't even click on it. So why are you bothering me about rating? And it's been doing that a lot. It's like, hey, now that you've watched this, rate this title. And I'm like, I haven't watched. I don't even know what that is. I haven't. And I thought, oh God, what if somebody got a hold of my Netflix password? If somebody got a hold of my Netflix password, they are watching some really weird shit with my account, which is something that just makes no sense. Some of it makes perfect sense, but some of it are like, I haven't watched that movie in like 4 years. Why is that showing up on my Netflix queue? But anyway, so Netflix, stop asking me to review movies and rate movies that I haven't seen yet. Or, I don't know. So with regard to yesterday's Dear Derry, about swallowing or not, that being pride or humility. For one, as I suspected it would, at least one person was like, whoa, 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 TMI. And then they went and watched it. And I'm like, oh, well, the the almost overwhelming response from like all 5 people who responded was there's like 40, 45 views on the thing. 6 people replied, whatever. And the overwhelming response in those 6 people is to yes, accept the kindness. no one really used the word charity, for which I thank you. Because to call it charity would be a quick way to make me seem, all right, nope, never mind, nope, hell with it. Deal with it on my own. So, fine. I'll start looking into it and figuring out where I can. It's not going to be Kickstarter, because looking at the rules for Kickstarter, you can't do that sort of a thing there, I think. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. Now, I promised you guys a story. So that's what this is mostly going to be. Because that's almost 6 minutes worth of blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait. Sort of, this isn't quite a divergence that most people would think. I mean, it is a bit of a ricochet, but not as bad as you might think. I recently discovered, I believe it was this morning, I was checking, and I passed 200 subscribers on YouTube. Oh, holy crap. I am gabberflasted. Whatever that means. Sounds like something that Douglas Adams would come up with. So yeah. Woo, awesome! I'm really, really sleepy too. Been trying to get some rest all day, and it's just, ooh, that's still warm. It hasn't been working worth a damn. Every time I lay down, something happens to make it virtually impossible for me to sleep. And I was in the Army. I can sleep just about anywhere, under just about any conditions. I mean, I can have, the next door neighbor is outside with a chainsaw cutting down tree. Okay, that was a yes, story time. Well, wait. Army. It does tie in. There. It's not as divergent as you might think. It was about 2 weeks before I joined the Army, so this would have been in 1989. Do not start telling me how old or how prenatal or how your parents hadn't even met yet. I don't. I've got enough friends who are that young, who they don't like to rub that in my face, but they seem to do it an awful lot without meaning to. Anyway, it's about 2 weeks before I left for the Army, so this would have been late January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Okay, so it would have been about mid-September. No, middle to late September in 1989. I was on my way out of the house to go somewhere. I don't remember where. That part I don't remember. And I opened the door to the front of the house, and I'm heading out the front door. And there's these two really hot guys standing on. Let's see how long this. Hear the timer? Let's see how long this keeps going. Really hot guys standing out on the front porch. And what winds up happening, I mean, they are reaching for the doorbell. Well, one of them is reaching for the doorbell. And he's like, oh, hi. And I said, it's okay. What can I do for you? I was just on my way out, but what can I do for you? He's like, oh, I'm Brother Matthew, and this is Brother Corey. And I'm like, hi. Because at this point, I have ascertained exactly why they're there. And I'm about to leave for quite possibly the rest of my life. I have no qualms whatsoever in being a lecherous hump. Besides, who knows? Maybe I could get a last fling before I go off to basic training. And anyway, so I told them, I said, oh, God, guys, I'm so sorry. I am, well, obviously, literally on my way out the door. So can you guys come back tomorrow, say about the same time? They're like, yeah, absolutely. We'd be happy to. And I was like, good. And they completely missed it. Totally right over their heads. No problem. I don't care. They'll supposedly be back tomorrow. And I'm sure that they were men of their words. So I left, went, did whatever it was I was doing. Next day, doorbell rings almost to the minute, the same time. Like, who the hell is that? And then I remember, oh, wait, I told those two hot guys to come back right about now. And so I go over and I open the door, and sure enough, there they are. And I'm like, hi. Well, I'm really glad you guys came back. And they're like, yeah, so are we. And so I invited them in. And, you know, they're sitting on the couch, and I just keep staring at them in the most lewd ways possible. And for the most part, it keeps just drifting right by them. But Brother Matthew, he starts kind of figuring it out a little bit. And eventually he's like, so do you have any questions? I said, yes, I have one. And he's like, okay. And I said, what about gays? Let's say, for example, that somebody that you guys were talking to thought that the two of you were just impossibly attractive, and he kind of, you know, was like, well, we're not really, you know, that kind of goes against our beliefs. I'm like, that's a shame. I mean, that is a big shame. And they're like, so I guess we'll be going. And I said, that might be a good idea. Yeah. And I walked them to the door and out, and I just stared at their asses as they walked outside. And I was like, God damn, that's a shame. Shame and a half. Actually, 2.5 shames. 3. Since there's 2 of them, I guess it would be almost 4.5 shames. Anyway, yeah. So that's one way to keep, you know, Mormons from coming to your door, I guess. I have a lot of friends who will answer the doors in robes with, you know, runes all over them, holding a cat by the scruff of the neck in one arm and a knife, and they go, God, you're just in time. Did you bring any black candles? And off they go. The Jehovah's Witnesses were by far my favorites, though. I was on my way to, okay, I guess maybe you get 2 stories out of this one. I was on my way to the the DMV. I may have told this story already, actually. Anyway, if I did, forgive the repeat. But I was on my way in to the DMV. I had made an appointment, so I didn't want to be late. And as I was walking past the Jehovah's Witnesses, who had set up their table right outside the door to the DMV, they were like, hi, we like it. Excuse me, hang on just 1 second. And bolted past. And I went inside. 20 minutes later, I'm on my way back out. Always make an appointment at the DMV if you can. Always. So I'm on my way back out, and they're like, hi, do you have a minute now? I said, okay, you need to know this. Your God and I have nothing to say to each other. And I just turned and walked away. Amazingly enough, they stopped coming to the apartment too. Interesting. It's like they knew where I lived when I walked away from that table. Yes. That way I don't have to break out the robes and the knives and the cats and the candles and... Yeah. Well, since I don't own any cats, I don't think I have any robes either. Used to. Way back when I met Michael Dorn. Never mind. That's another divert. That's a story for another time. And I'm pretty sure I have told that story. When I was Michael Dorn's security escort, but didn't tell him. Just following him. So 14.5 minutes, and I will let you guys go. And I will keep you guys informed as to what's gonna happen with the Get Trent a New Computer Fund or whatever. Until next time, be careless.